Okay, I'm taking a walk on this trail, just bored. So I just decided to, I don't know, talk to myself, I guess. If I don't get many views on this if I upload it, oh well, doesn't matter to me. But just wanted to just talk about some things like, yesterday and whatnot, I don't know. But so seems like that channel with that guy that calls himself Bill Cooper, has been going on my Alan Bradwell channel under his multiple. I mean, apparently it would just make sense because I went on my when I was reading that book on alchemy. I did a series of 3 videos reading from this mystery school person, Teresa Bullard, whatever. Reading her book on alchemy, and it was basically social engineering, whatever. But I clicked on 2 of the parts, and I noticed that there's like 6 thumbs down. I mean, honestly, I don't know how you could thumb those videos down anyway. I thought those videos were pretty good, but it dawned on me that, well, I just got these thumbs down because I regularly check these videos. But I noticed that a lot of my newer videos have a little more thumbs down, and this kind of happened last time I got a little into it with this guy after he saw my video where I was attacking Bill Cooper, or it's complicated, but he had all his goons go on that video and thumb it down and insult me and all this other stuff. It's the only thing these fucking guys can do. They can't argue facts, they can't reason with having an adult conversation, a polite one, which is what I tried in the beginning. But anyways, so I let him know that on his channel, that I don't appreciate that kind of sneaky, slimy games. Those basically that he plays to attempt to. I don't have much viewers anyways with those anymore. So, but you click on the video and you see 2 thumbs up, 6 thumbs down. The automatic impression that somebody's going to get is that. So some people might get is that it's a terrible video, so they won't stick around and listen to it. He wants everybody to come to his channel and listen to, his regurgitated Bill Cooper episodes. Which aren't bad in and of itself. Some of his Bill Cooper stuff is not bad, but that's not the point. I really, in the beginning, I really didn't mind the guy. I think I've had once or twice had a halfway decent conversation with him, but this has been ongoing. I've been going around these guys ever since my research into these guys. Not trying to fight. I knew that was inevitable. But trying to reason, like trying to get them to see. Well, turns out that was a big waste of time. Shit. I should have just, focused on what's going on with the New World Order, I guess. Whatever. But yeah, so that escalated eventually, and I tried numerous. I tried that guy who has all those Bill Cooper YouTube channels. I tried with this one guy who calls his channel Advanced Mick. We had an argument on his website, and just like with the Bill Cooper channel, this guy was more interested in attacking me and making me look bad than with considering my arguments. And my arguments were really good. I shouldn't say really good, but they were. They had backup. They had sources. It wasn't just making stuff up out of thin air. And looks like I can't get to these people, so And so I just realized I figured out that originally, you know, I already assumed that I was going to create a lot of enemies when I started to touch on certain supposed patriot truth leaders. I knew that I was going to be eventually attacked viciously. They did the same bullshit with the Myron Fagans. Some of them I think were just made up YouTube channels attempting to discredit me, attack me viciously, and just to shut me down, have me shut myself down, because boy, they were coming I mean, I've never seen videos so degraded and so like thumbed down and insulted and spit on than those videos I did on my old channel on reading Myron Fagan's two works. One was called Civil Rights, Most Sinister Tool of the Great Conspiracy, and another one was how greatest white nations were mongrelized than negroized. And I added a little more commentary than maybe I should have originally. Maybe I should have just read it and put a little bit of commentary on. I was still new to all this shit. I'm not perfect. But still, I mean, it was still something that hadn't really been done before. And instead of listening to the words of Myron Fagan, it's like these guys just went on this channel, and there are hundreds of them, just to insult me and leave. Not really to listen or whatever. It's like, shut him down. Do whatever you can, insult him and make him look like an idiot. And I think I understand why at this point with many of those trolls, because many of these trolls are part of that whole, possibly are part of that whole, I'm gonna say COINTELPRO. I don't know if it's official COINTELPRO, right? I mean, but you read into COINTELPRO, that was the government's attempt at discrediting their opposition through infiltration, through kind of agent provocateurs. This is just a new modern COINTELPRO where what you have on the internet is these trolls that will do you know, if they see somebody that's actually telling the full truth and nothing but the truth, not a half truth like what you see with some of these leaders in the truth movement, is they see you as an uncontrolled loose cannon type that can't be controlled, and they can't have that on this controlled platform. So there you go. So do whatever you can to disrupt, and that's what COINTELPRO did back in the 60s, the FBI, with the people they were going after back then. And it was people of all different various groups. Not very many right-wing groups, to tell you the truth, more left-wing groups, but still, I mean, they're dirty like that. It's very easy for agents to pose as YouTubers. Not saying that guy who calls himself Bill Cooper is one. I'm not saying that at all. Matter of fact, I think that it's the person who is accusing everybody. I don't say everybody. The people that I showed on my YouTube channel, I showed evidence. I showed red flags that there's something off with these people. I showed the inconsistent statements of all these guys and what they've said. I've showed the various secret handshakes. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people on the internet that, like this Bill Cooper guy, who, if you don't agree with his Bill Cooper, you know, you're a shill, you're an agent, you're a liar, you're this or that. It's usually those people, not saying that he is. I doubt it. But there are people out there like that on YouTube, so I would be very careful. I'm not afraid anymore. I don't really have anything to lose. If I lose these subscribers that I have on my current channel, it won't hurt. It won't hurt me. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I know that my channel will never excel, or it just won't. People go with what they see, with what they feel, and what feels good, what looks good, what sounds good. Even in the so-called truth patriot community, it's like that. You have your popular crowd, and I've never been a good mix with the popular crowd, and I'm proud of that. But one thing that I do hold myself, I shouldn't hold myself up, right? I mean, the Bible does call that somewhat of a sin, pride. But whatever, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with a healthy dose of pride. Meaning that I'm proud that I don't get under so much group pressure, that I just go along with the group collective, no matter whatever group that is. Whether you're a socialist, a communist, a capitalist, Alex Jones fan, a Bill Cooper fan, a Biden fan, Trump fan, whatever. I don't fall into those groups or categories. I am my own individual person. And until YouTube takes me completely down, this channel will still be up, in hopes that maybe I might get one or two people that'll see a few videos that I did. I mean, I really did do a lot on my Ellen Bradwell one that ever since I started my backup channel, I've had so much stuff going on that I haven't been able to focus and concentrate like on the research and things that I like. I am, however, researching some of the roots of the fake truth movement. I don't know if I should. It's like, it's not totally fake though. That's the thing. A lot of truth, the best truth tellers that you shouldn't trust. They tell you a lot more truth than someone who's just an out like, take Art Bell, and then compare him with Alex Jones. Alex Jones tells less bullshit than Art Bell. So but it doesn't make Alex Jones any less of an agent than Art Bell probably was. And I'm saying probably. I'll never know the full answer to it. I just know Alex Jones has talked about being a part of, his family being a part of anyway, Freemasonic, Rosicrucian orders, and blah 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 blah, the real Illuminati, as he calls it, the good Illuminati. So whatever. But these people that I'm researching that were really kind of that helped set the foundation for the modern conspiratainment industry. There's a few names that I'm researching, and two of them are women. Nesta H. Webster, who did the book Secret Societies of Psychological Warfare, and Edith Starr Miller, who did the book Occult Theocracy. You look those books up and the authors, you'll find that Bill Cooper used them as a source quite a bit, and other early conspiracy writers, such as Ralph Epperson, even, I think, has used her work. Others have carried on most of the conspiracy ideas on our modern, that eventually became like big, giant alt-right media empires like InfoWars was influenced by these people's work. And when you look up these people, like Edith Starr Miller, Nesta H. Webster, and there's others, you'll find that with both of those people, they had a link to fascist organizations in Britain. I think they both were somehow affiliated. I know Nesta H. Webster was. I looked that up. She was a member of the British Union of Fascists. And I think Edith Starr Miller, she was known for, just like Myron Fagan, devoting a chapter in that book, Occult Theocracy, praising, no, I shouldn't say praising, but at least shedding, talking about the KKK in a good, positive light. Myron Fagan called them heroic Southerners. But, that may sound fine to a lot of people who really think that, and who, like you have some white supremacists that acknowledge the New World Order, they acknowledge the socialist agenda of the left and all this other stuff, but so did Hitler. But Hitler had, and the fascists, they had their version of a New World Order. It's not the one that, the one that's obviously in our midst today, but it's one that's based on segregated nation states. If I could try to make sense of it. I know R. Swinburne Clymer, who is the head of the Illuminati and the Rose Cross Order here in America, when he wrote the book The Age of Treason, he did devote a last chapter to segregation and how it's biblical to segregate the racists according to their kind. And so he seemed to be in favor of a new world order that's based on segregated apartheid nation states. And it's interesting because Anthony Hilder, who of course was obviously connected with Myron Fagan, before Myron Fagan passed away in the early 70s, he had kind of echoed that idea a little bit, not so blatantly racist, obviously, but he said in that interview that I showed on my Alan Bradwell channel, where he was on that radio program, whatever the heck that was. You can go look it up. And Anthony Hilder admits to a lot of things that are very fishy, suspect. But one of the things that caught me, because it reminded me of Myron Fagan's How Greatest White Nations Are Mongrelized, the Negroized book, was that he said something. He said, because he doesn't, it's like he was going back and forth, like saying, well, I don't support Israel, but I'm a Zionist with a small z, whatever the fuck that means. But that he said that he supports nation states basically having the right to have their own, how should I put this, having the nation, gosh, I sound retarded right now, have a nation, he supports segregated nation states that, he believes nations have the right to be segregated. Nations have the right to be racist if they want. Some people, that don't sound bad, but to people like me, again, it echoes that these ideas that a Clymer, Myron Fagan, the white supremacists, pro-segregationists, ideas. And, so they may not be, like, they may not have the power now. I mean, who knows? But if some of these people that want this fascist version of this New World Order, if these people ever got into power, these Christian identity types, these British Israelis, these people that believe that the white Anglo-Saxons are the chosen race, these people ever got into power, it would be just as ugly, maybe even more ugly, than the multicultural, desegregated, borderless New World Order that the globalists are bringing forth. But like I said, maybe I'm just looking at it on the surface too much with this right versus left, because we both know that at the very top of both of these factions is what they would call the Great White Brotherhood, and they control both sides. I guess they figure, that they lead everything. That's how they can control the destiny of mankind and where it's going. So that's what I'm researching right now. I'm gathering names of organizations and stuff attached to these people that are fascist. Another thing that people are kind of ignorant of in the conspiracy community, conspiratainment community, is that Hitler and the Nazis were, the secret societies were all up with the Nazis. And that's a half-truth. You have the Thule Society, and you have some Germanic twisted version of Theosophical New Age ideas with the, Guido von List. You go look up those old German mystics. And, Hitler was a devout reader of Astara, which was a German, Theosophical Society publication back in the day that really influenced the Aryan supremacist view. So yeah, you do have some of that. But if you go look it up, Hitler actually, he purged Germany of many secret societies, many popular ones that, the conspiracy culture likes to say that put Hitler in power. Like Hitler persecuted many Freemasons. A lodge that they had raided, they converted into an anti-Freemason, anti-Jewish museum. To show, this museum is supposed to show that how Jews and Freemasons conspired against Germany, against the world, whatever, and that they're the enemy of mankind. The Freemasons had to wear, I believe it was either the upside down or it was upright, but a red triangle. The Jews, of course, the Star of David. The various OTO lodges of the Ordo Templi Orientis, were purged from Germany. The Fraternitas, what the hell is that secret society? It's the Brotherhood of Saturn or something, but it's Brotherhood of whatever. Just look it up, Brotherhood of Saturn. It should take you right to a Wikipedia page describing it, but they were expelled from Germany. Many Grand Masters of the Rosicrucians back in Germany were taken out point blank and shot in the head. Executed during when Hitler began to really clamp down on the people he wanted to go after. But what's strange about that is you had this early support from certain factions of these secret societies too as well. Like I said, that's a very complicated situation because he wasn't in. But I do see two factions. This just proves that there is two factions to the Brotherhood, and they seem to be either at war with each other, like what we've seen with Mussolini's fascist regime and Hitler's fascist regime, or this is just all a game. But I have a Rosicrucian Digest article before Hitler actually started purging the secret societies. I think it was before that, when he was Time Magazine's Man of the Year, I believe, where they're praising Hitler and saying that, we really support the eugenics policies of Hitler. We think that should be a global thing. How stupid to find out that the very guy they were supporting, probably not much long later, he threw them in a camp. That's probably why they turned on him probably, and he became the boogeyman of the world. And I'm not saying Hitler wasn't a boogeyman of the world. I'm just saying that they prop these guys up and they take them down with, as you know, they control the media. So yeah, there's a lot of things Hitler did that obviously I don't support, and his ideas, Aryan supremacist views. I don't like any forms of supremacy from any race or religion or whatever. I don't know. I'm just here. I don't have all the answers. I'm not gonna shove what religion I think is true down your throat. I'm not gonna say I'm white, I'm better than you, and walk all over you. I've never been that way, so I guess I don't understand that mindset. But I showed you in those Rosicrucian articles that the main goal that these secret societies want, one of them, is to get the American people to rise up. And that's why they've taken charge. Some people, you can argue they've taken charge. I'd say they created, for the most part, this truth movement to begin with to do that. But anyways, you can believe what you want, whether they hijacked it or they started it. But I believe they are using the truth movement today to really help that catalyst to bring about that conflict, so they can bring about the chaos that they need to, bring about what they described in the article as their Armageddon. And that's their words, not mine. But that don't mean that they always achieve what they want. They certainly conspire. And sure, they play both sides and they play their games, but I think that, they might have really wanted to get their New World Order by the year 2000, as the conspiracists in the 90s were saying. True. And obviously there's a lot of pushback with this whole COVID-19 and the Great Reset and the face diapers agenda. So it seems like they push us, we push back, and then that kind of sets them back a little bit, and they plan another several years ahead of what they originally scheduled. That's why they have Agenda 2030. But I'm here to say that they really, really want to bring about that environmental catastrophe, I think. They really want to convince everybody that the climate change that we're experiencing is because we're using up too much resources, there's too many people, and the planet is getting sick because of that, so they can bring in their Agenda 21. So I do believe that that's why we're seeing this funky weather, but I don't believe the climate change is because of that. But obviously they're going to do it, and they're probably going to use their weather modification technologies, whatever is at their disposal, to gradually convince us sooner or later that we need we need the UN to come in and save everybody, and enslave us to keep us safe. Beware too of the backlash and the catalyst. The pendulum swings far left, it'll swing far right as it comes back. This might not be over with what I originally was trying to say. It seemed to me that Trump was kind of the perfect way to usher this in. It's still not over though. We'll see. Time will tell. That's why they created both factions and both sides. Whoever wins out, they win. They win either way. Sometimes I like to walk out here. It's really peaceful. It is sad though. I did like that Bill Cooper, that guy at first. I thought he seemed pretty cool. I I used to be just as much of a fan of Bill Cooper as he was. You know, it's see yourself become the villain. I need to, because you point out, can't help but see stuff that you point out. It's hard. Yeah, look at out there. It's pretty. Away from town, away from the noise. Yeah. So sometimes I'll just chill. I came out here on the 4th of July and I was seeing the fireworks from down there. It's really pretty. This is where this trail ends. I don't know, sometimes when I do these videos on my camera, it stops at about this time. But lately it's been going on, it lets me film for an hour, but then it splits up into two separate video clips, both half an hour each. So that was what was happening in my last Illuminati 666 vids. I was reading that book. I read for an hour, but it split it off into 2.5 hours. Like, okay. It's been raining all day for the most part, so that's good. We needed the rain. You know, this is changing the subject again, but I haven't checked because I've been, transitioning into another job, but I was trying to stock up on ammo. With some of the guns that I have, for self-defense and protection and stuff like that. But one thing I noticed, right when Biden got elected, and I'm sure that whoever's watching and listening might be aware of this, but there has been an incredible shortage of ammo. I mean, completely cleaned out for months. I don't know if I'm starting work at Baumgars on Monday, and I'm also working at the Super 8 Motel right now. I do that outside of town, but in town here I'm working at Baumgars, both part-time, 2 jobs. So